Welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Papal States campaign. Last time around we conquered Sardinia, and since then I've set about modernizing our kingdom as we realize the mountainous task that we have set ahead of us. So currently we are rebuilding and reforging, so we're building a university here so we can get some of our own technologies going. And I actually changed out this house to be a steam-powered factory, more so that I could get hold of technologies. The thing is, I said get some of my own. I have been able to purchase almost every single one of the technologies. I am now on the same level as everyone else. I have actually been quite surprised at how easy it has been to acquire these technologies. Normally, you have to pay a lot more, and sometimes they flat out refuse to sell you their technologies. I think it's because no one sees the Papal States as a threat, and that's why I've been able to buy them pretty cheap. The most expensive one has been 15,000, and then also as you work your way up, not everything has to be paid by money. Sometimes you can just go ahead and trade technologies. So say that I would have these two here, so I have percussion cap and land drainage. Percussion cap is a really strong one, minus 50% misfire chance against passports. So a trade like that would be sufficient. So the business over there is concluded in the spirit. Yes, I didn't have to pay anything. Now I've given Prussia quite the strong technology there, as you know, misfires are quite there. I mean, if you're able to reduce them by 50%, that's big. Normally everything else is like, oh, you increase by 2% or 5% or, you know, minuscule like that. 50% means that hopefully you're able to get, you know, off 50% more shots down range upon your enemy compared to what they are able to return. That's huge. And now I just gave it to Prussia. Well, hopefully we'll not give it to anyone else, but there's where we're at right now. And since I've been able to go ahead and trade, you can see that everyone actually likes me, to the point where my old allied Spain, actually, yeah, there's been some, as I've been building my empire around, there's been some changes. So Britain came in, their army kind of rampaged through, they took Barcelona, they went up to Pamplona here, and then down and took this. And then the Spanish came around, and they kind of moved back. So I'm expecting this to fall again. Oh, I did not notice. The Great Britain has moved into Bordeaux and taken that. So they're really cutting France at the edges here. Interesting to see they're actually so active, the British. But that's the big thing against the French. However, now the French are continuing straight through. They've gone up. They've taken the last territories and completely crushed the Austrians. And now they're moving on the Ottomans, and that's where we're starting off our video today. So, as I said, one of my quests that I set for myself was to conquer Constantinople and bring it back within the church. So that's what I was hoping to do here, and seeing as though that the French are coming down hard here, there isn't going to be much left down here soon. So if I want to conquer these territories, I should do it pretty darn soon. And the thing is, I think I'm pretty safe in doing this, because I doubt very much that victory condition regions for France is going to include regions from the Ottoman Empire. So I think we will not upset the French by doing this. With that said, I don't know, but hopefully they don't. So in preparations for this, I've got my first army under Pompeo right here, ready to land at in Istanbul, Constantinople, and I've got my second army up here under Pietro Costaguti, if that's how you pronounce it, and his army will be landing in Greece and Athens. I would kind of like to set them up as their own nation, but I think we're just gonna have to hold it, because otherwise the French are most likely gonna invade them, and I'll end up losing that, and then it becomes difficult because strain in between me and the French. So we're gonna go ahead and attack there. The big problem here is that the Ottoman Empire is of course allied with Great Britain, Sweden and Russia. Mostly I'm afraid of Great Britain, because their navy, as we've seen with the Napoleon here, where the British have been able to invade all over the place. We don't want the British Navy coming after us. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pay the Ottoman Empire to break all their alliances. And I'm gonna offer them a mighty sum of 20,000 gold. They're affluent, so they're a step up from me, but we still were able to achieve this. I might have even gotten a better deal, like lowering it to 15,000. But I had 73 before we started here, so 20,000 is fine. With that, it's kind of a meme thing. I give them money to break their alliances, and then I immediately go ahead and declare war on them. We do not fear your guns and swords, but when the will of Allah, the Almighty, prevails, you shall truly fear us. I very much doubt that. I am planning here on taking you out within the span of 1 or 2 turns. So we're gonna go ahead and land the army right here. I'm gonna sail up here. It's Gallipoli landing. I don't think they landed here though, but it's our own version of the Gallipoli landing. Right, he's landed. There is a big army here, but I don't think it's a very strong army. Although you should always watch out for Ottoman cavalry. So we've landed that force right there. Now we're going to bring up the second force. It's already on the ships, and we're going to get as close to Athens as possible. So I'm thinking we can even land here behind Athens and be able to attack the town. So both my armies have landed. We are ready to strike, but we're going to have to end turn. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to end turn. We're going to see if they mount some kind of counterattack, which looks to be likely around Constantinople. Not so much around Athens. And then we are going to destroy the Ottoman Empire. Wonderful. The garrison at Constantinople sallies forth, and I get a view of what they actually have. So they have tons of cavalry. We're looking at a force of about 800, probably closer to 900 cavalry. And they've got 3 guns, horse artillery, howitzers, and they've got this, is it a 3-pounder or a 6-pounder? I don't know. They've got some grenadiers, light troops, and then different kind of turban fellas, in all sorts of colors. Quite a lot of them. There's a total of 6,000 against my 5,000. But I feel as though my veteran army of God will be able to destroy these newly recruited regiments. So without saying anything further, let's go ahead and fight this battle. So here's the plan. We're gonna get the grenadiers stuck in, so I'm deploying them not behind the main line, but we're deploying them on the right, where I think we'll have the strongest enemy force. Looks like they got quite a bit of cannons up here as well. They even deployed a mine up here. Main line gonna go up trying to hold the enemy. Could possibly use the slightly sunken road here as a defensive line. Light infantry on this side can kind of go up the slope here, fire on the enemy as they approach. Cavalry. This time around I've placed the dragoons in front, and we're gonna use the hussars more at running down the enemy. Cannons in the back, and there we go. So first things first, we kind of get the line infantry to march down into the road there. Then the grenadiers march that way, and I will start to deploy the cavalry towards the sides, and also all this light infantry will be set up. I do hate, look at this, now they're again switching position, completely unnecessary. God knows why they keep doing that. Let's set everyone to guard mode. My cannons are firing on the enemy cannons out here, so that's a horse artillery. Got a setup out here. And actually a pretty bad target, and also because the enemy's position there is pretty shit and firing straight into the ground. I feel like us firing on the troops all the way up here is probably gonna do a lot better. Okay, they're coming hard, like they're concentrating a lot of troops towards the center. So we should get our troops forward here rapidly. Oh, they have their own. Is that the grenadiers coming forward? No. Hopefully those are easily sent away with the cavalry and then the light infantry shooting them down. We'll have to deploy something like this. Ooh, there's a big cavalry unit behind there. Enemy cavalry streaming forwards. I'll deploy these three into squares. The main line is holding on. Now I do have, because we've researched a lot of these technologies and stuff, that I do have the inspire ability. So I will be able to inspire a unit or two if I feel that's necessary, as the enemy might... Ooh! What is that? Why does their... What unit is this? It's a bow unit. For some reason sounding like... Right, this one's the first one to come into contact with the enemy, so I'm going to inspire them. Who broke? It's a light infantry unit, no surprise. Cavalry chase these. Turn slightly to face the enemy. The cavalry is broken. As much as I would need you up there, we're gonna stay in this area. It seems like that is gonna be the better choice. As soon as more of the cavalry units are broken, I want my grenadiers to kind of swing in, hit the enemy in the back. Okay, my cavalry is continuing to chase these. Continue to chase all of them. Let's see what... Yeah, it wasn't these Adors that got run over by the cavalry there. Look at that! I did not notice, but the enemy marched up and they placed spikes right across the battlefield, right where we are fighting, and I did not even notice. Keep charging after the enemy. Okay, the enemy is breaking down all across the line. We're gonna inspire this unit right here as it's in combat with cavalry. We're gonna drop these two squares, get ourselves into line, and let's strike up here and see if we can swing down on the enemy. Continue to chase the troops up here, and most of the enemy army is kind of breaking. I want a general advance of all troops on this side towards the enemy now. And we got, yeah, it looks as though the Ottoman force is heading back to the capital, where I do want to cut them off and stop them from regrouping, right? Let's order everyone to start running. Since they have placed maybe more spikes, and we're not going to have the general follow, we're just going to continue through here. I have a few units that are preparing to stand and fight and act as rear guard. They're grenadiers. So here we go, grenadiers versus grenadiers. We can bring in that one. Ooh, bombs will set off. However, that was against the light. Oh, my hussars here have run into enemy cavalry. Actually go after these. I think the hussars here will be fine.
Our men
The enemy grenadiers are actually holding on pretty well. Okay, my hussars weren't. Okay, actually it was the hussars in the middle here. Okay, so my grenadiers finally broke theirs. Also, I will tell everyone to go off guard mode, so they'll continue to chase. They're down to 50 men. I think we now do need support here. Let's make sure that as few of these troops as possible come out of this battle. The enemy general here fighting against all my infantry regiments basically, and then being fired up the side by my rifles. Here's a group of enemies that I want to make sure that they do not escape. I will detach two of my grenadiers to set up and fire on the enemy. Their general was killed and is now running away.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
I will set up my light infantry to combat these troops, and then these line infantry will make it that way. These two grenadiers are on their way over here, and cavalry can go after this unit, which is now broken. Grenadiers no longer needed, they can head this way. Light infantry are low. Should probably be able to break these. We'll order the troops to move forward here. I fear that I might shoot at quite a lot of my own hussars. We have a hidden light unit situated over there. Oh, I completely forgot to tell my cannons to hold fire. It's probably led to some friendly fire. But as we can see, the enemy general is dead. The enemy army is in complete disarray and is retreating. All I need to do is mop up the rest of these troops and then I'm done. So I will declare this battle won. So here we got the first battle against the Ottoman Empire. It's a complete victory for us, as we stand to lose 1,000 men compared to 5,000 for the enemy, with only 800 surviving over the enemy force. When it comes down to it, we've got the Hussars killing almost 900 men, followed by the Dragoons, infantry regiments, and then some of the Grenadiers, finally getting some chevrons here. Although it looks like it's the only Grenadier that is gaining a chevron. But it's something, and we hope to continue this by gaining more glory for my Grenadiers. Path blocked for Pietro. We'll go ahead and start here by laying a siege. So there's another 5,000 men. This time around it's armed populace though, and other sort of irregulars and militia. Completely shit force. Apparently one of the cannons survived, and they've been able to now recruit a general to hold out in the city. I don't know if they do have fortifications. Luckily for me, I've brought quite a few guns with me. Oh, they've brought in some troops to actually hold Greece. But they have no chance. I'm just going to go ahead now to resolve this battle. We ended up losing 364 men while they lost their entire force. Only chevron gained was by a howitzer. So, nothing spectacular there. Supreme victory! Yes, I have now... I always like creating client states, but we're gonna go... I think I will be shooting myself in the foot if I do that. So, we just gained this entire territory. Very nice. There's quite a few Ottoman forces around here. However, we're just gonna go ahead and bypass all of that by fighting the siege of Constantinople, and the armies of His Holiness will breach the walls and reclaim the city for Christendom. And here's the siege. We're just about to break down the walls and storm the enemy castle. We have already dealt quite a bit of damage to some of the enemy troops by our skirmishers, but it's now time to storm the castle. The Grenadiers will lead the way, followed by musketeers. I feel like the light infantry has had their time trying to break this one, so now I'm gonna send in the infantry to do the job that the light infantry wasn't able to do. I was hoping to keep as many of the enemy units up on the wall, maybe even break the wall on either side, and in that way kind of almost stopping them from getting down from the walls. That didn't happen. Okay, the enemy is howling. Oh, what? They have put troops in there? That's interesting. I feel as though, you know what, cannons, hold fire. I will bring down the general to support my Grenadiers as they make it into the fort. The line infantry will form behind the troops, and we'll try and set them up to shoot down the enemy. Let's go ahead and close in on this guy. The general is making his way down towards here. Now, because of the just the sheer amount of Ottoman troops, we're gonna see about setting up these line infantry units on sides to be able to shoot into the flanks. So currently I feel like this Grenadier unit is the one that needs it most. This is probably the line infantry unit that will do the most damage in terms of being able to fire upon the enemy. And as they're setting up to shoot into this one, I'll have this regiment ready in column, kind of ready to run straight up the side here, and in so doing be able to set up further here. Okay, one of my grenadier units, multiple of them, not too happy with the situation where we completely broke the militia units here. So the line will move forward. You will continue this way. You will continue to fight these troops. Let's see if you can't come around the flank and support that way. We've got the general right behind the troops as we're storming this fort. Grenadiers a little bit unsure of themselves, but so are the Ottoman forces as well. Right, this unit has made it around. Hurried to set up here. Okay, these are now stuck in melee. Did we break? Yeah, we did break the unit that was outside here. Then I want more of the line. Oh, there they are now. I want as much of the line now inside.
Our men are running, sir.
I will boost this one to be able to continue its fire. 77 men of the Lézier Grenadiers, but they're still fighting. Can you open fire there? Let's see if we can pull them back. There's no need of them getting utterly destroyed here. Kind of pull some troops back, regroup, and then open fire on the remainder of the Ottoman force here, as we've broken their spirits. Additional line infantry making it into the fort right now. I feel as though I'd probably be better off not telling the Lézier Grenadiers and the Arona Grenadiers and the Lézier Grenadiers not to reform them. Or you know what? Block them. Line infantry regiment, move up and block those guys. And with the 2 additional units now moving in, I will reorganize. We'll have the Grenadiers make a line towards there, and then we're making a kind of a half circle towards the enemy. This unit's going in, meleeing all the troops up here. He's in a little bit of a pickle because there's so many of them. I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna inspire him, and he's gonna keep the fight going up there. So I'm gonna have my general hurry up there and inspire this infantry regiment. 2 grenadier units are supposed to go around here, but also I was thinking these guys might come down from the wall, which they didn't do, but if they did, grenadiers would be there to stop them. Looks like the unit here is able to conduct its business and making short work of the retreat for the enemy army by blocking them off. Right, there's no point in continuing your fire. Move forward. What unit remains? It's the one on the walls actually that remains. The blocking unit is successful in blocking the enemy. We're also blocking this gate right here. We'll set up the units around
Sir, our defenses are breached and failing.
the flag. And what remains of the Ottomans is the troops out here. Let's see if I add on by firing on the enemy. Oh, the general is making one more attempt. It's charging in. And it died right in front of us. Brave, trying to rally again, trying to reclaim the fort. Unfortunate for him, it's too little too late. The fort is mine. You know what? We are getting fired up from the walls, right? Let's organize the troops to return fire on the troops out there. Only one unit left, so these two grenadiers came back once they got outside the castle. They also took, like, the amount of damage they took, I'm surprised they stood for as long as they did.
Our general is under attack.
He's never under attack. Quit lying. We've got multiple lines here now, pushing fire up towards the walls here. This unit has finally given way, and so now it's just the guys on the wall, where clearly have not realized that the battle is over. The flag is being risen. The Ottoman Empire, or at least the European holdings, are over. And God is back in Constantinople. And here's the result of that siege. We lost 1,000 men, while the enemy lost their entire garrison of 5,000 troops. Interesting here to note is that we lost 960 men, while the enemy only killed 735. It's almost 200 men we killed ourselves. In terms of what killed most, we have got quite a few grenadiers here, gaining this one. Went from 0 to 3. This one went to 2, this one stayed at 2. And where's the last grenadiers? This grenadier went from 1 point to 5. So the grenadiers charging in here, killing. They gain the chevrons that I've been looking for. These are not the chevrons you're looking for. And now everyone in my army, except the general, has. Oh, I can re-establish them. But why would the Papal States want to re-establish the Ottoman Empire? Great. Now I just want to see which one is which here. So the 24th is at 3 chevrons. The let's see, Lezier is at 5. The Arona is at 2. And then the Forcume is at 2 as well. All the light infantry is 2, and the dragoons are at 5. But with that, I have now ended the Ottoman Empire, and I've seized Greece and Rumelia. and the glorious old capital of the Roman Empire. Suddenly I hold 2 of those capitals. We will, I'm guessing this is supposed to be the big church, right? Can I build that around? I want to see. What can I build that into? If I tear it down? Nothing. It doesn't look as though I can tear it down and build it into anything. We're gonna change around the infrastructure so it actually looks European now. So we're gonna get rid of a lot of the structures, or at least what they look like in terms of the Ottoman. I will look into it. I will look into if it's worth it. If it's worth it, I'll do it. If not, then I won't do it. But we just secured the capital, and we gained intellectual centers. We gained a factory, iron mines, and a whole lot of goodies. Wonderful. Now the only thing here is that I'm hoping that the French play nice with us. And that, let's see, can I see here, territorial expansion -12, so they don't like that. However, they do like trade agreement, they like research and technology, the same religion, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, +14, minus term, different government type, national leader command respect, +1, +1 for a total of 98, which I think makes them the ones that like us the most. Yes, the French are the ones that like us the most. Also, with this, I'm guessing that having so many new ports here opens up extra trade routes, so now I can trade with Portugal. Okay, it probably would have been better to trade with Sweden, although the trade with Sweden would have easily been blocked by Batavian and French navies, but again, yeah, the Portuguese ones would have stayed open in a completely different way. I guess my ports only opened up so I could gain 1. It doesn't actually go from these ports though, which is, I think, a little bit surprising. Never mind that though. Right, I will set aside to restructure this, as I'm restructuring everything. And then I will look for opportunities, just like this one, to, at some point here, go for the other 2 quests, which is, we'll go against the French Empire, and we will be striking at taking northern Italy. So hopefully somewhere around here we will be able to kind of work over the coalition and invade the French and take down Napoleon. But it might take a lot of time, and it might not even work. We might just end up similar to what my old Ottoman campaign ended up happening, which was that basically they stopped the Napoleonic Wars just to go after me and kill me off. But hopefully we are on a good path to victory here. And with that, I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.